For Halloween, Although we did run into a problem child while walking around taking our photos.
Can you see my shirt?
Okie pokey weirdos, I'm Rev, and welcome to my world of cosplay shenaniganery. And now that I'm dressed a little more comfortably, I'll tell you 3 different story times about when I was cosplaying Harley Quinn. The very first time I cosplayed Harley Quinn was in 2016, right after the 2016 Suicide Squad movie came out. Ooh. Was that 2017? 2016? 2017? What year did Suicide Squad come out? August 5th, 2016. Yep. Okay. Which would make me 17, which would make my brother 14. This was not planned. The original plan was that my brother Sable and I were going to cosplay Joker and Harley Quinn as soon as we got to the year that he was finally taller than me. 2016 is when we met that goal, and we had planned the costumes before we even knew that Suicide Squad was going to come out. However, my Harley was the classic red and black animated inspired Harley. I had to go with inspired rather than the full catsuit, which was what I wanted to wear, but there weren't any catsuits that would fit me in the Halloween stores at the time, and I did not have the budget to make that costume at the time. So I got a dress version of the costume and altered it to my liking. The first time I wore this outfit was for a photo shoot with my brother, all images taken by our mother, so thank you, Mom. And we went to downtown where we knew a Candyland setup was going on at the moment, but we also knew that these setups were only seasonal, so we had to go take pictures immediately before they changed it for the Halloween season. There are also various bits of cool street art as well as statues that we could take pictures around. Since we were walking around Main Street, downtown kind of area, we got a lot of looks and people being pretty excited that we were cosplaying these characters, especially since the movie had just come out. Most of the groups wanting pictures with us were a bunch of teenage girls going, "Oh my god, you're cosplaying Harley Quinn and the Joker!" Ah! Most of them fangirling over my brother's costume because they were obsessed with the Heath Ledger Joker costumes. And Sable's cosplay of the Joker was very much a mashed up version of the Mark Hamill Joker as well as the Heath Ledger one. More Mark Hamill style clothing and Heath Ledger makeup. Although we did run into a problem child while walking around taking our photos and having most people fangirl over our costumes. There was one old woman, who I would guess was in her 70s at the time, who came up to us and saw my brother's little toy weapon that we had created with dollar store items, hot gluing them together, spray painting it, and then dry brushing it with metallic paint. However, she looked at it and went, "Oh, you two better be careful. There are some police officers over there, and they might think you have a real weapon." Good grief, woman, please. These little toys, they made the funkiest little noise of pew pew pew, and the laser lit up red. It is not a real weapon. And we tried to make a point that this was absolutely ridiculous, and she's like, "No, the police officers might arrest you because you're also dressed as superhero villains." We're going to get in trouble for being dressed as cartoon characters on Main Street. It's not like we were harassing anyone. It's not like we were making an absolutely massive show of ourselves. We were minding our own business, taking our pictures. Funniest part of that was, a little while later, those very cops she was pointing out to us actually called us over and wanted pictures with us. During this photo shoot time, we also drove over to a park, and my mom got this really cool shot of me looking like I was in the asylum prison through the bars of a fence. Something else that was catching a lot of people's eyes was that I can actually juggle, so I was juggling a number of items while walking around on the street, to get our pictures and videos. So a lot of people were excited that Harley Quinn was actually juggling out on the street. Story number 2! Next, I cosplayed as Harley Quinn for Halloween at school. I was the leader of Anime Club and we were having a Halloween party that day, so I also wanted to make sure I was wearing a very iconic and recognizable costume since I was the leader of Anime Club and it was more so expected of me to be all dressed up. Everyone knew I was cosplaying as Harley for that year, but nobody had seen pictures of it yet. I was keeping that a surprise for all of my friends. And a couple within our friend group were planning to cosplay Joker and Harley from Suicide Squad, so I thought it would be interesting for us to all three have pictures together. When I got to school, almost nobody recognized me at first. Nobody knew who I was when I walked in. And I had to run up to them and go, "Hey, Puddin'!" And they finally realized it was me. And when I got to the table, my friend who was going to be cosplaying the Leto Joker was still working on his outfit. He was actually putting the purple shirt on and checking on his hand-drawn tattoos that he'd done himself with makeup. And he was also working on spraying his blonde hair green, but he did have really long blonde hair down to his elbows, so he only sprayed it up to the point that it would be the length of Leto's hair, which was a really interesting little trick. I liked that. However, his girlfriend claimed that she was dressed as Harley Quinn. She said she was going to be the Harley from Suicide Squad, and yet what she was wearing was, from head to toe, she has brown hair and it's pulled back in pigtails. One tiny red elastic and one tiny black elastic. No makeup whatsoever. A black spike choker, very much like this one. Thin red straps coming out around her black ribbed tank top. Those red straps being her bra that were showing around the tank top. Black workout shorts, red knee-high socks, and her black Converse. And a black spike bracelet, very much like this one. It wasn't a slap-on though. So with the contrast of me coming in looking like an absolute cartoon character, to her just barely having an accent of Harley Quinn and hardly being able to recognize her as Harley Quinn, most people wanted pictures of me with my bestie who was dressed as Leto Joker. She wasn't very happy about that. It wasn't like my friend and I were trying to insist everyone take pictures of us together. We kept getting called over to the side by teachers and other students asking if they could get a picture of us because it looked like we were together since we were within the same friend circle and I was very recognizably Harley Quinn as compared to his girlfriend. Therefore, his girlfriend stopped talking to me, and they broke up soon after. Which they needed to, she was not a very nice person. This costume also caused another person to stop talking to me. However, I feel like there's more than just that one aspect that caused this.
Voiceover Rev here to give you a little more context, because it's actually a pretty important concept of why I have this YouTube channel. It was not specifically and only this costume that caused a number of people to stop talking to me by my senior year, but it is a moment in time where I'm able to pinpoint a lot of specifics. A huge reason why I started losing a lot of quote-unquote friends in high school through the end of my junior year and all the way through my senior year is because halfway through my junior year, I decided I was sick and tired of getting physically picked up and thrown down flights of stairs, as well as getting stuffed into lockers. There were many more aspects to the bullying that I won't get into specifics for this video, but I want to make it a point that by halfway through junior year, I decided I was done. I started standing up for myself, and I chose to move on with my life with the belief that if I am shining too bright for anyone, they better get some shades. Otherwise, I'm gonna melt their frickin' face off. Because I should get to be who I am without someone being a total jerk about it. And yes, that level of self-confidence is not created overnight. You have to start with doing it scared, not knowing if it's actually going to work. And I can proudly say that by this point, my self-confidence is a lot better than it was in high school. So shine brightly, my favorite weirdos, because being yourself is totally worth losing the fake friends.
There was one guy in our friend group who was on the opposite end of the cafeteria when I came in. So to get his attention, I raised my hand and waved it as much as I could and went, "Hi, Puddin'!" And that severely embarrassed him. Not my intent. I was trying to get his attention because I was excited to show him my costume for the year, since he was excited to see my Harley Quinn costume. But his discomfort with my confidence growing over the past year caused him to not really want to hang out with me anymore, since he was so uncomfortable with himself, and because it made him uncomfortable that I was so comfortable with myself. Otherwise, the rest of the day went amazing. I worked in the school library, so a whole bunch of people wanted pictures with me up there. I actually got away with carrying around her hammer at school because the assistant librarian helped me keep it in her office and hidden until it was time for pictures. And story number 3! My mom took this really awesome photo of me as Harley up against a brick wall with me holding my hammer. It looked so freaking cool, and I was really proud of her photography work as well as my cosplay and how much work I put into building and altering what I had. Because of this was the image that I wanted to use for my senior photo. The yearbook was having us submit our images so that they could make giant posters saying, "Happy graduation!" So I sent in the Harley Quinn photo because this was the image of me within the past year that I was the most proud of. Then I got an email saying that I never submitted my senior year photo. This email was from my English teacher who was also in charge of the yearbook, and I was friends with her enough to be able to have a conversation with her about I sent in that photo specifically for the senior year picture. That's what I wanted it for. And she went, "Oh, no, I put that in the Halloween section of the yearbook. So we need you to send in an actual photo for your senior year picture." And I was like, "But that is the photo, that's what I want to use." But I was told that because it's not actually a photo of me, not my face, it couldn't be my senior year picture. So my mom and I went out in the pretty snow, and I wore my pastel pink Santa Claus hat and a rainbow scarf to be a little more me in the photo, and took some pictures by a snowy pine tree. I still despise those photos to this day because I didn't get to have my Harley Quinn photo be my senior year picture, because in this cosplay I felt so much more like myself than I did comparatively to wearing my cute little pink Santa hat in the snow. These days I can use whatever frickin' picture I want to display for myself on the social medias, so this is what you get to see, because this is actually me. And if you've made it all the way through to the end of this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you remember those subs, comms, thumbs, and a ding. If you'd like to support me, we got Ko-fi and Patreon. I am ever so grateful to every new little weirdo who joins this circus, and welcome to the madness. My friend who was going to be cosplaying Letter? My mom took this really awesome photo of get some water and try again. I'm looking at my screen, but I need to be looking at the camera. The first